Oh boy, I did not anticipate a mess like this inside the shop. Now I knew that truck was dirty, but I did not think it was going to be like this. Wowzer. All right, roll the footage. Oh yes, good morning boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, I am Sended Steve, and today we are actually going to clean this thing up pretty well. Now I'm not going to go to 100% tearing the seats out and going underneath it. Well, actually I might tear the seat out, but I'm not going to go to a complete tear down and clean. But we're going to go ahead and do this thing's very first wash in 17 years. That's right, 17 years since this thing has been washed. You can tell by the gook and grime and just green on here. This thing has been sitting for a awful long time. Like, you can barely see in the windows here. This window here actually had moss coming off of it as I was rolling it down. So it's definitely, you can't even see through that thing. That is absolutely, it's cool actually. It's really cool, but it's absolutely disgusting also. So without further ado, I'm gonna move this thing outside so I can show you guys what this thing looks like in the daylight. And then I already have everything here to wash it. So I'm just gonna pull it back in, wash it real quick because we got our drain spout anyway. Plus I wanna go ahead and pressure wash the floor afterwards and get all this stuff cleaned up. So I'm just gonna wash it inside here rather than outside. I don't feel like running an extension cord. Just a long story, I don't feel like running it all outside. So I'm also gonna back the Yukon out so I don't get that thing all dirty. But let's get this thing freaking washed, and I'm excited about it. As you can tell, we did do a little spot there by the intro, but I'm ready to get this thing shiny and see what all we're working with. The exhaust already. I tried to do a couple little quick spins here for you. As you can tell, we lost exhaust here. The rest of the muffler is no longer hanging, but I wanted to get this thing outside for you guys to just sort of show you guys 100% what we're working with here before we get started on today's cleaning. So today, the majority of the cleaning that I want to do is just to do a complete like pressure wash of the entire thing, get as much grip and grime and nastiness off of this thing as possible. As you can tell, the grill is absolutely terrible. It's actually kind of cool, but it's terrible. We've got a bunch of stuff up here behind the hood, the wind deflector. Probably gonna end up taking that off by the end. The trim pieces, I want to see what all trim pieces are here. I want to basically inventory everything and just sort of start our progress from here. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little montage real quick of how it looks right now. We're gonna take it back inside, pressure wash it, get it all cleaned up as good and as best as we can for today, get a good idea of what we're working with. right, this actually is taking a lot longer than I thought it was actually going to. It's a lot dirtier than I had imagined, but it is starting to look absolutely killer. And as you can tell by the front, this thing is definitely going to need a hood. It's definitely worse than I thought in some spots, but it's better in some spots, which the things that are better, I didn't expect, so I thought I was going to replace them anyway. The things that are worse, I didn't anticipate replacing, so we're going to end up replacing them. But you can tell by the grill here, this thing's still an absolute mess. Still got to do this side of the hood and everything, but I went ahead and did this entire side. Oh yeah, I forgot I just pressure washed all that to the side. Stand by. yes, this thing came out better and worse. Again, like I was saying, I ended up just finishing it up real quick, but this thing came out better in some spots but worse in others than I actually had originally planned. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not really too worried about it. To be 100% honest with you, if I wouldn't have already, you know, dedicated the purchase of a cab and some other things that I purchased for this truck a while back, I would 100% change the direction that I would take this truck. I would end up probably throwing a turbo on it and a 6.0 in it, or a 5.3 or a 4.8, and just sort of make it into like a drag build and have some fun with it. However, we're already committed. We've already got some panels and some body work and some wheels, and we have a bunch of suspension things. We have a bunch of things that are coming for this thing that are already here that I bought 3 or 4 months ago. So I just got to take the direction that we're going right now. But just briefly going over the truck, as you can tell, there was body filler and everything down in the bottom here that I did not know about. This thing was completely disgusting, as you've seen previously. Some of the trim pieces are in good shape. Like, I'll be able to keep this trim, this trim. These trims here are all good around the wheel wells. The back rear trims, they're all good. Across the tailgate, they're all good. And then you come over here to this side, and this side does have some screws in it. Some things that we're not going to obviously put back on the truck because they never came with screws from factory, so we're not going to put screws in it. I'll probably get a new set of taillights if we can find them. This is actually a replacement panel, as you can tell here, which I had no idea. I didn't see it when I purchased it. When you see the pressure wash there, it went ahead and just blew holes in here. This was actually fiberglass. Somebody filled this all in with fiberglass previously. It is what it is. We're not going to keep this bed anyway. I have a new bed already here for it, so we're going to put a bed on it. The doors and everything, the trim, this is a good trim piece. Again, around the wheel well, that arch is actually still good. Good trim piece, good trim piece, not good, not good, not good, not good. Good trim piece and good trim piece. But some things on here we are going to have to go ahead and do away with. The mirrors I think we're going to be good with. We'll be able to utilize them. The Scottsdale emblems, we're going to utilize them. Cab lights up top, we're going to take them off, get them sandblasted, and then we're going to re-chrome everything up top. So I'm excited about this build. I hope that you guys are. I know I kind of never actually done just a complete car wash video, but this thing was definitely in need of it, and you guys know for a fact it needed washed and cleaned up super bad. So stay tuned. We're going to dig a little deeper in the next video. I hope you guys enjoy this build. I'm excited. Let's roll the outro and just start enjoying this thing. much better. Now I'll go ahead and hit it with a hose, clean it all up, and it'll look fresh and clean like over here. Take care. We'll see you in the next one.